Hey agents, thanks for tuning into this one. Apologies beforehand, my neighbor is mowing his lawn, so that's most likely what you are hearing in the background. Is not me. But yeah, thanks for tuning into this video. For the newer subscribers, thanks for clicking on the button. I just actually with this video and probably the next one I'm gonna put out, I looked at my two assault rifle bolts, my most popular ones. Popular for me in the sense of me using them to clear content with. So I'll just show you the first one. The first one makes use of Spotter. So that's a heads up what I'm using. Spotter on the chest, the Vigilance on the backpack. It's a Fenris, one Fenris, 3 Providence, the Overload knee pad, and your Gruppo glove. Very traditional. You know, it's anybody can make a bolt like this. It's quite easy. It might be a bit difficult to farm with the perfect rolls, but it's very easy to put together a bolt like this. Technician links with Spotter. Like I said, why I'm using Technician is to help keep my spotter active. My spotter I keep active with a linked laser pointer that you get from the specialization. You can use it on the weapons with a long rail. I think it's called a long rail slot, or I don't know what you call it. But I'll just start with the weapons in. I'm using a FAL SA58. I used to use the SOCOM M16. I used to use this one, but the RPM on the FAL is a bit higher, so that's why I'm using, and the base damage is a little bit higher, that's why I'm using it. So this one is also with Optimist. Damage to armor rolled on there is 21% health damage max out, and 14.3 assault rifle damage is almost max out. So what I have on here, crit chance, there's the laser pointer I was talking about. The linked laser pointer you only get when you're on Technician. You can have in the slot, what's the slot called? The long under barrel rail. So in any weapon with a long under barrel rail, you can use this attachment it pulses the NPCs that you're pointing your weapon at, basically. 20 rounds magazine. And crit chance again on the scope. I don't use a scope at all, but there you go, crit chance. The Ravenous you get Operation Iron Wars from the chest or from the boss there, whatever. So we all know by now what the Ravenous does. You just shoulder swap the whole time. On one side you get armor, the other side you get weapon damage. A crap load of weapon damage. Officer M1A. I just put the crit chance in the optimal range, bit of crit chance, 50% pistol damage, damage to armor. I love damage to armor. Optimus there as well. Optimus is probably my famous weapon talent. Optimus and attributes. My favorite minor attribute is damage to armor, and a close second will be damage to targets out of cover. That's also on the run and gun bolts. I like damage to targets out of cover. So let me just start with the 3-piece Providence. 3-piece Providence gives you headshot damage, which doesn't matter to me at all on this bolt. 10% crit chance and 15% critical hit damage. So on this one I have the mask here, 15% weapon damage, crit damage 11.9, armor regen, and there's 11.8 critical hit damage in the mod slot. The second piece of Providence, which is a backpack, is Vigilance. So Vigilance gives you a total weapon damage of 25%. So as long as you're not getting shot, you have your 25% weapon damage extra. So you just have to prevent getting shot. So you must pop out of cover, give a few shots, and then get back into cover before they hit you. Because then you lose your Vigilance buff. So you have to wait for 4 seconds before it gets active again. So weapon damage there, 15%, 6% crit chance at all. There's 11.3 critical hit damage, and the mod slot there, critical hit damage as well, max out at 12%. The third and last piece of the Providence, weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage. Basically, that's what you want. The Gruppo, the brand set bonus, why Gruppo is popular assault rifle bolts, for the 15% critical hit damage you get. I wish the weapon damage was maxed out. I can do a little bit of optimization station. I can push it to 12.6, I think. I can do that if I wanted to. Critical hit chance 5.9, and critical hit damage 11.9. The Fenris here, the bread and butter of the bolt was Spotter. It amplifies total weapon and skill damage by 15% to pulse enemies. So the enemies constantly get pulsed by the linked laser pointer. If you don't want to use the linked laser pointer, you'll have to run a pulse on one of your skills. You have to use a pulse. Mind you, I don't actually need to use the Technician. That linked laser pointer, you don't need to actually use it. It just makes it a bit simpler because your turret does the same thing. Your turret also pulses the NPCs. but it only does one at a time basically. So whoever it decides, you basically need to then follow your turret around. So the benefit to me in using the linked laser pointer is so I don't have to rely on the turret to pulse the targets for me. I can choose my own targets. So that's why the linked laser pointer. That's my motivation for doing it. That's the only reason the turret is there, is also as a distraction for the NPCs, to distract them. It's a distraction because it's not there for damage. It's for pulsing and for distracting. The reviver hive, obviously, like all raid builds, if you go down, it can revive you. So that's the feathers I have there. I said crit chance, crit damage everywhere with spotter. And on the fox sprayer, there's the 8% damage to targets out of cover. That's my favorite knee pad in the whole game. Weapon damage the 13.6, and my critical hit damage at 12%. So let me just go through the stats here as well. You can see there on the FAL. Where's my voice going? 52.1% crit chance, 181.2 critical hit damage. On the Ravenous, 47.1 crit chance, 202 critical hit damage. Officer's M1A, which will hardly ever be used, 57.1 crit chance, 181 crit damage. So 181 is actually quite a lot. That's without taking spotter into account, without the vigilance into account. So let me just run to the shooting range. You could see it in the gameplay pretty well, but I'm just going to show it here as well. So if I'm taking out the veteran, I'll just dump the turret here somewhere. See, the turret also pulses, so you don't actually need to use that linked laser pointer, so that's what it does. I might have some latency here as usual. I'll put this on elites. I do have a bit of latency. You put it on named. You just need the turret to do its thing. It's a distraction basically. I'm just simulating what I do on the control point. I just dump it somewhere. So I love this build for control points. I'm gonna switch to the Ravenous. Okay, that's a bit close for the Ravenous, but just give you an idea. Boom. You actually need to do 5 shots. Most of the time I don't even count it. 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's 6. But basically, that's when if he comes out, the boss come out, you hit him with the Ravenous. It's quite easy to miss with the Ravenous. You can see in the gameplay, I missed quite a few shots with the Ravenous. So that boss could have gone down a lot quicker. So that's how this build works. I love using this build. I mean, if I had to do DPS, I do this. If I'm not using the skill DPS build, I use this. But you need to have a healer with you. Otherwise, one bullet from a legendary sniper, and you are down, or legendary shotgun, you are crawling on the ground. And your reviver has a cooldown, so if it hits you between the cooldown, you need someone to revive you as well. So guys, that's it for this build, and I'll record the next one now, and I'll see you in that build as well. The next assault rifle build for my classic series, a 2-part series.